And here we go. Starting with the Han team, we're going to look at the Skaven here. Warplock Giselles, Poison Wind Mortars. We're going to have some Skaven Slave Spears with double Hell Pit Abominations. And then the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Now, for the High Elf Infantry, going to be looking at some Spearmen with 2 units of regular or generic archers. Got some Illyrian Reavers over here on the flank. We'll see where they get deployed. They do have Vanguard. And then we're going to have a second unit over here on the left flank facing towards the back, so possibly anticipating some Vanguard shenanigans here. Now, we have an Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower on the field of battle. And then for the leadership, we've got 2 Nobles on chariots, Alariel the Radiant on foot. And then for the Skaven leadership, where the hell are you? There you are. Looks like we have Deathmaster Snikch as well as an Eshin Sorcerer. Alright, now for the Skaven, might as well start with the Vanguard. And this is actually Sartosa Free Company, so we have 1, 2, 3 of them here deployed in the forest. Over on this flank, we're going to see a lot of Greenskins. Night Goblins, including the 8 Peak Loonies, are going to be deployed back here. Looks like 5 in total. And then we have the Rusty Heirs. Now, for the bulk of the Greenskin and Skaven forces, we are going to be looking at a forest deployment, so we better go ahead and hide that foliage. Looks like we have 2 bloated corpses, guys. Any units coming over here to scout for the army may find themselves in for a bad surprise if they just stumble upon those bloated corpses and destroy themselves. So we'll see if those Illyrian Reavers are lucky and can avoid them. Got a Goblin Great Shaman on top of a Wolf. This Goblin Great Shaman is going to have the Night Shroud. So he's going to be hiding these units. We got a Ragnarok Queen, Rotting Leviathan, Vampire Fleet Admiral with a pole arm, and he is going to have the lower vampires. And then that's actually going to round it out. So this is sneaky. Because look at this. Their entire army, in terms of big units, is over here. Not hidden. So these players, I would imagine, at least I wouldn't be remiss to say I wouldn't do this, would look over here and be like, their whole army must be in this forest. I see 2 Rotting Leviathans and a Spider Queen. Their whole army must be over here with them. And so possibly turning to face it, trying to get down over here and, face for the tide that will come out of the forest, only to be surprised that the vast majority of units, including 2 Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, which weren't here the last time I checked, are going to be deployed in the rear, ready to jump out at the opportune time. So I think we're going to have to wait and see if there's some patience exercised here from the Greenskins and the Vampire Coast, because I do think without patience, this may fizzle out, because it's a good flanking force, but it's not overwhelmingly powerful. And honestly, Illyrian Reavers with 2 Nobles on chariots could take out this flanking force quite easily and just rout them off the map. So they need to be patient. They need to stay hidden until they see these forces really commit to the engagement over here with this kind of decoy deployment. However, also, we'll have to see how the scouting game is for Team Han, because if they're scouting like they should be scouting, then we may actually see this ruse discovered early, and then maybe they'll, be able to turn it around. And as somebody once said, an ambush once discovered and promptly surrounded will be repaid 2-fold. So something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. It's probably one of those Rome Total War quotes that pops up in loading screens. But here we are. The battle has begun. And we'll just wait and see what happens. Alright, looks like Han may be doing the right thing here. Doing some early scouting, coming back here, looking for any hidden units. And it looks like Shetland Apache will be pulling the majority of his units this way, sending out the Unbreakable ones over here to see if they can get discovered perhaps and hide the presence of the rest of them. So we'll see what happens. It looks like he's already discovered the 8 Peak Loonies, who are now charging at him. And yeah, Apache has successfully kept the rest of these guys' presence hidden from the Illyrian Reavers so far. So yeah, I like that play. If you're going to be discovered, maybe send out 1 unit, in this case the Unbreakable unit, and as a sacrificial lamb to hide the presence of the rest. And then over here, same thing is happening though. where we're going to see the Dirkit Squigs discovered by the Illyrian Reavers. And, yeah, there it is. The ruse has been caught early, and now we're going to see all of these units from the High Elves and Skaven turn around and try to kill off these isolated units before the front line of the 5 dozen egg team here can close the gap. So we'll see how this impacts the battle. I mean, it's still a pretty even fight, especially when you consider just how many numbers are on both sides of the field here, and also the fact that besides the Warplock Giselles, they don't really have too much to counter the huge monsters over here that are being brought by the Greenskins of the Vampire Coast. I should just say Sartosa instead, so Sartosa. But yeah, already pretty early in the battle, they picked up a nice victory here by killing off the 8 Peak Loonies, who are unbreakable and honestly a really big pain in the ass the longer the battle goes on, because they just act as that anchor for leadership for the Greenskins, who otherwise are a very low leadership faction. And now it looks like the trap is coming in, guys. Everybody's coming in, flooding in from both sides. Goblin Great Shaman just took a lot of damage there. Looks like he's Night Shrouded himself, and maybe overcast it for the extra time, but took some damage because of it. And now the Night Goblins, though, are coming in the back, and I have to say, there is not a lot of units protecting the rear of this Skaven formation. I mean, you have Skaven slaves turning around, desperately trying to get back here in time, but Night Goblins will actually cut through Skaven slaves without too much trouble, and actually they aren't coming back to protect, and I don't even think the High Elves and the Skaven see this as of yet. No, I lied. They see it now. They have Nobles coming in. Nobles will be perfectly suited to taking care of this. But Wa has been popped, and now 2 units of Night Goblins are diving in on top of the Warplock Giselles, completely compromising them. Dirkit Squigs and the other Night Goblin Squig Hoppers have dove forward and are just crushing the High Elf Archers. And this is a Wa. This is certainly a Wa right now, guys. Very well timed. Pretty much every engagement across the field is happening right now. And now the large single entity units are getting on top of the 2 Hell Pit Abominations. They outnumber them 3-2. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, this Rotting Leviathan is taking quite a lot of damage. And the 2 the Hell Pit Abominations both have regeneration. Oh, Night Goblin Squig Hoppers diving in here, getting on top of Illyrian Reavers. Looks like this combat's going pretty evenly. Both units are losing for some reason. Night Goblins coming in from one side, Skaven slaves coming in from the other, so both units getting some infantry support there. And then over here, Rotting Leviathan still taking a lot of damage, but now the Vampire Fleet Admiral is coming in, summoning units, and the Hell Pit Abominations are just getting surrounded by meat shields. However, look at this, guys. Deathmaster Sniksh and the Nobles are coming over here, getting on top of this Rotting Leviathan, and he's down to half health, and the mortars are beginning to fire away and dish out lots of damage here with that damage over of time effect. Oh my goodness gracious. That Rotting Leviathan is getting absolutely trounced right now. Deathmaster Sniksh and his Nobles on a mission. However, it is successfully pulled back into the back lines now, and we'll see if it can live to fight another day. Deathmaster Sniksh is turning his attention away. I really would like to see Deathmaster Sniksh continue to kill this thing off until it was gone, because otherwise, you know, Invocation of Heck is always going to be a possibility. Alright, taking a higher level view of the battlefield, it does look like the Greenskins and Sartosa Rush has successfully taken care of the bulk of the Chap infantry here from the High Elf army. Team Han, I think, is running short on supplies in terms of meat shields, but their hero squad and the 2 Hell Pit Abominations are still doing very well. Their leadership is very high. They're healing through most of the damage being dealt. They're getting some Skaven Slave Spears over here to meat shield for them, but we'll see what ends up happening in the end. Both of these factions also have access to strong healing magic. Invocation to Heck is crazy powerful, but as we all know, Alariel the Radiant is also no chump. And there goes the Star of Avalorn. Not digging the location. I mean, it's healing up the Nobles at least, but it just isn't anywhere near the Hell Pit Abominations. And right now, the balance of power is very much in favor of 5 dozen eggs. However, one thing I've noticed is these Hell Pit Abominations haven't done... I mean, sorry, not Hell Pit Abominations. These Bloated Corpses haven't done anything the entire battle, and unfortunately there was a shattered unit of High Elves that just made that thing blow up. And looking over here, now look at this. Team Red is in a bad spot. Oh no, the Vampire Fleet Captain, or Fleet Admiral, is getting killed. Deathmaster Sniksh and the Hell Pit Abominations going haywire. And now there's just a Gobbo Great Shaman. One Rotting Leviathan is about to break and disappear. Are we seeing Han pull this back after a very strong start from 5 dozen eggs? I just don't know, chat, but Deathmaster Sniksh is still full health. The Nobles are still very healthy. Alariel is still very healthy. And the Hell Pit Abominations are still going to be regenerating. And it looks like the second Rotting Leviathan may be getting killed off here, guys. Oh my god. Ragnarok Queen going to be pulling out of combat. Looks like she's going to try to regroup with other units. We'll just have to see what happens. The other Bloated Corpse is coming back into combat. He's ready to fight now. And, you know, the Greenskin and Sartosa units are starting to regain their leadership across the field and, you know, group up on the peripheries. But, yeah, it looks like the Vampire Coast, or Sartosa, I should say, is no longer really going to be able to assist here. And I don't know what happened. Oh, I went over a terrain feature. I was like, why can't I go down? I totally missed that kill shot of the Rotting Leviathan, but then I hovered over this little monolith thing. Okay, looks like we're going to see a Spider Summon going down here. Not going to be pinning that Noble in place, though. The Ragnarok Queen's still miraculously at full health. And the Rusty Air is just doing so much damage on top of these Hell Pit Abominations. Hey, Birthquake, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good time. But the Bloated Corpse has, like, no good targets anymore. Yeah, that just did nothing, because it's really only good against multiple model entities. So, like, against killing infantry units, cav units, things of that nature. There goes the second Star of Avalorn, and I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin, guys. Oh, man. I think that's going to be all she wrote. Star of Avalorn on 2 Hell Pit Abominations fighting in a Ragnarok Queen with no leadership support. There goes that route, and I think that's going to be it, guys. Hell Pit Abominations just performed so well in that duel, it seemed. There goes the Shatter. And that's going to be Team Han pushing forward into the next round with a victory under their belt. 5 dozen eggs, you know, not going down without a fight. They still got 1 victory there.